Have I found the best retirement investment plan? Stay tuned. We're going to go into this. It's going to be awesome. You're going to like what you see. I'm telling you right now. And if you don't like it, you'll get a refund back. How about that? So welcome to part 2 of my analysis on the best retirement plan investment strategy that I could find. I went back to part 1 yesterday, and there'll be a link up there someplace where you could look at that to start the premise of this. But here's part 2 where we're really going to give you the scenario. So welcome to Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Subscribe, comments, the whole thing. Thumbs up. That all helps me. Share with friends and families alike, as the more you share, the more it benefits me. And I know that's what you're here to do, is to benefit me, right? So definitely share. And let's dive right into this. So where we left off yesterday is we started with the VASGX. We since deleted that. We went to Wellington Fund because Wellington turned out, as I ran all these different scenarios. You can see, get rid of that. You can see down here just a ton of different scenarios. By far and away, Wellington was the shining light. There's no other way around that. So the question is, can we do anything to beat Wellington? That's the question. So we're starting in 2001, going to 2017, and we're starting with $100,000. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here first and foremost. To give you an example, at the end of 2017, when we took 5% a year off the portfolio, Wellington gave us $102,000 of income, and it left us with a cash account value left of the portfolio balance left of $149. So 102 in income, 149 of total, the ending result of the account value. If we did 5% on the front end the very first year and adjusted each and every year with inflation, 3% inflation, it gave us $108,000 of income, and it left us with a portfolio value of $137. So that's what we're looking for. Can we beat that? If we can beat that, we have something to think about. If we can't, then Wellington continues to reign supreme, and we're going to beat it. It's nuts. All right, so the first thing, I got a number of different scenarios here, and we're going to go by these one by one. And we're going to start with withdrawal from whatever performed best. All right, so we took 2001. I took 4 funds. I put $25,000 in each fund. So we have VWNDX, which is the Vanguard Windsor Fund. We have the Pennsylvania Royce Pennsylvania Mutual Fund. We have Gold and Precious Metals from USAA, and then we got the Vanguard High Yield Fund. Put $25,000 in each. So we have commodities, we have bonds, junk bonds, we have small cap and mid cap stocks, and we have large cap, more value oriented of domestic stocks. So a very diversified, all domestic, and that's the starting premise. So what does it look like then when we start with $25,000 and then we take our account money that we need? Our money that we need in this case is $5,000 the first year. The next year we're adjusting for inflation, so it's $5,150. The next year we're adjusting with another inflation. So we're taking $5,000 the first year, $5,150, $5,305, and so on and so on. What does it look like then? And in this case, we're just saying what performed best the preceding year, and we're going to pull that entire amount that we need, the $5,000, the $5,150, $5,305. We're going to pull that from whatever fund did best the preceding year. And again, starting in 2001 to 2017. The red is where we pulled the money from. So here you can see the USAGX. A lot of the stuff came from that, at least in the front part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times of the 17 years did the income come from the USAGX. The High Yield Bond Fund, 1, 2, 3 times. The Pennsylvania Mutual Fund once. And then the Windsor Fund, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right, so we pulled $5,000 and adjusted for inflation from one of these 4 funds every single time. So every single fund had a distribution at some point. What did that leave us? Well, let's take a look. We're able to take $108,000 of income. That will forever be, if we're doing 5% adjusted each year with inflation, $108,000 of income. And our ending value was $255,000. So the Wellington Fund in this same scenario had an ending value of $137, and here's $255. That's a big deal, my friends. That's almost double what the Wellington had. All right, and we still had the same amount of income, 108,808. Now we did have a couple down years. So Wellington Fund had, I think, it was one down year in 2008, or 2 down years. I think 2002 and 2008. had a down year. So we did have a couple. We went from 254 to 175. Went from 329 all the way down to 190. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive years we lost money, or we had less money than we started with. Yeah, we had less money than we started with. So we did have some tough times, but if we could have hung in there, we dwarfed Wellington. No other way around that. Now let's go to part 2 of this. So this is where I say, what if we said let me go down here. Yeah. What if we only took the money out, not from whatever did the best the preceding year, but whatever had the most money in it at the end of the year? All right. So we don't care what it did the preceding year, what had the most money in it. And again, we're taking 5% a year to start with. We take $5,000, 5,150, 5,305. Same 4 funds, 25%. We're not rebalancing or anything. We're just saying what has the most money in it at the end of the year. And as you can see, the USAA Gold and Precious Metals funds did every single year for the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the first 12 years, USAA Gold and Precious Metals Fund had the most in it, and then the last 4 years of the Pennsylvania Royce Mutual Fund. So in this case, again, we took the same amount out, $108,808. What was the total portfolio balance there? Look at that, my friends, $294. So we went from 255 to 294 with the same amount of income just by simply forgetting what it did the previous year. We don't care. We simply said whatever had the most in it at the end of the year, that's where we're going to take our distribution from. And that's nuts. So when you think about it, I mean, that's $40,000 more than what we did just by taking from the preceding year, whatever did the best of the preceding year. We're just saying whatever had the most. That's crazy. That right there is 160,000 more than Wellington, too, by the way. Same amount of income, 160,000 more than the Wellington Fund had. I was stunned when I saw this. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is crazy. No rebalancing needed. Simply taking 4 funds, diversified into a bunch of different things. Again, high yield, junk bonds. We got gold and precious metals, small and mid caps, and large caps. That's it. No international, no nothing. I mean, just that's what we've done here. And it's, I mean, that's superior. There's no other way around that. Now, again, you have some pretty down years. You went from 254 to 175 from 2008 to 2009. You went from 316 to 277. Then you went from 279 to all the way down to 220. That's just not that. I mean, that's not huge volatility. I mean, there's some, but it's just not that big relative to going back here. Because here we had 5 straight years of 329 down to 190, and then 254 to 175. Here we went from 254 to 175 as well. But from these 3 years, when the gold and precious metals was getting crushed, we only went from. We got a phone ringing. Hold on just a second. Let me